Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios and the Gurkha Cigar Studios in the great state of New Hampshire, welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Pat Chamberlain.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTobacco.com. I'm joined once again by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Pat Chamberlain. And we are bringing to you, if I can get my damn keyboard to work here. There we go. We are bringing to you a short episode tonight, as well as an early in the week episode. Since I will be traveling to the Dominican Republic, and I didn't want to just take the whole week off. So I figured we'd hop on here for a few minutes and, have a cigar and chit-chat and catch up with the audience. Because it's always a good time. But, Pat, what's going on over there? How are things in the Gurkha Cigar Studio?
They are great. Busy start to the week. It's Monday, and I already want the weekend, but it's long weekend coming up, so it's got to truck through it.
Yeah, I assume you get Monday off, and do you get Friday off too, at all, or half day Friday or anything like that, or is Friday business as usual?
I got last Friday off, so I'm assuming I get Monday off. I don't know if the court is off or not. I'm assuming we are, but I haven't actually looked at the docket to see if the court's closed on Monday.
I think usually off federal holidays, like courthouses and all those places.
That is my understanding as well. But there's one holiday, because the courthouses are closed, but then I forget what the holiday was. We just had it, and the court is closed, but the county didn't give us the day off. So we were
there's no sessions, but you have to be in the office.
Yeah, but the county had us working in the office, which was kind of it is what it is.
That's BS.
But I think this is one of the holidays where major federal holidays. I think we're always. I forget what the holiday was now. It was
The only one that comes to mind is maybe Columbus Day. I know some people don't get off, and Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I think that was it. I think that was probably it. Actually, is the court was closed, but then we. Yeah, because isn't it Indigenous People Day? Isn't that what they call it?
Well, I don't want to get into a whole thing because there's one side of people that get all defensive because God forbid, but when I was born in 1993, through 99% of my life, it was Columbus Day, and as an Italian American, it's Columbus Day. If you disagree with me, and you want to get on my face about it, just save me the aggravation and go yell at a wall. I don't want to hear you. I don't care. I have no interest in listening to you bitch about it. It's Columbus Day. Other than that, I don't care. So, yes.
Columbus Day. I'm trying to remember the holiday, and it might have been because it was called something. That could have been it. I think it was Columbus Day though. Was the day that we want.
Yeah, because that's coming up. That's it's the second Monday in October, I think. Yeah, it's the second Monday in October. That's the only one. That and Martin Luther King Day. Because I know, with my job, we get Columbus Day, but we I can't remember. I don't think we get Martin Luther King Jr. Day anymore. I think we did it first, or we didn't, and then they were gonna do it for a few years, and I think now we're back to we don't work on that day. I don't something as I know that one with my job has been there's that there's Juneteenth, which I don't think is officially observed. We work on Juneteenth. We're told that we can take the day without any BS or whatever from them if we want to take the day to observe, but it's not a day off. And then the only other one is maybe Columbus Day, but Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, Veterans Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, those are the big ones. I'm trying to think what other minor holiday. I mean, President's Day maybe.
It could have been President's Day actually.
Maybe it was President's Day. That was in February. Maybe it was President's Day. I know we get the day back. We get the day.
Yeah,
there's a few.
99% sure I have Monday off coming up, so I mean that's enough for me. I mean, I think we do.
Yeah, listen, holidays are great. Anytime you can have a day off, I mean, I don't complain. And if I do work on a holiday, I get paid extra. So, it's kind of a win-win either way. So yeah, we're going away, taking advantage of the holiday weekend. My phone will be off. Excuse me, I can't stop yawning today. Oh my god, what a day! This is why I'm ready for a vacation. My phone will be off, FYI, for everyone out there. If you're looking for me, after like 10 p.m. on Wednesday, you won't hear from me until next week. So, yeah, I'm not. No, this is the first time I'm traveling for an actual vacation, and not like because I have somewhere to be and something to do. And like, I can't remember last time I took a relaxing vacation. It's been probably before COVID, probably like 2018. That's the last time I took like a relaxing vacation. Maybe 2019. I think it's 2019. It's like 6 years. Before Smokin Tabacco, actually. It's been since before Smokin Tabacco. So I'm really going to enjoy this. I'm going to go, I'm going to turn off my phone, and I'm going to sleep and eat the whole time. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing any activities. I think I'm getting a massage, so that'll enjoy. But other than that, like I plan to be as lazy as possible because it's very well deserved. Yeah, because ever since Smokin Tabacco started, every time I've traveled, it's been because of that. Whether it's a trade show or some other big event or going to a factory or, it's just always something. So, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to traveling for once. It's nice. It's nice. Tired. I'm already in vacation mode. Like I'm already over everybody. I'm done with everything. I'm pretty much packed for the most part. The last minute stuff is a lot. Everything else is there. I'm good. Like I just want to be done, man. I just want to sleep. I want to sleep without a baby monitor for like just a couple of days. That's all I want. Let's talk about what we're smoking though, really quick. Because if we didn't, then the show wouldn't be possible because we have some great people to help make this show happen, including our friends at the number2guyscigars.com. That's right, the number2guyscigars.com. Head over there today for an amazing selection of cigars and accessories from brands you know and love, and maybe a few new ones that you haven't quite discovered yet. Place an order with those guys today. Please order some cigars from the number2guyscigars.com. Give them some love. They give us love. Give them some love. Only at the number2guyscigars.com. I am going to go first for once just because I sometimes forget, to read mine off, so I don't want to forget. But I'm smoking the classic Aladino Julio R. Iroa. Going Honduran tonight. Fantastic cigar. I used to smoke a shit ton of these back in the day. A shit ton of these. And specifically, there's a size, which it's been a while since I've had it. And I assume they still make it. I need to check because I don't know. But I remember it's called the Santi. And it's the small, skinny, it's like shorter than a Lancero. And I think it's even smaller than a 38. It might be like a 34.
Do they have one called the Elegante that's like a elongated Lonsdale?
Yes.
It's like a Lancero, but
yes. There's that one too, and I like that one. But no, this is small. It almost looks like it's almost like it's been a while, so I might even be exaggerating on this one a little bit. It's probably bigger than this, but it's like a really skinny. It's almost like a 150, but like a little thicker than like a 150, like the old cigarettes, the long ones. Almost like a skinny petite Corona. It's skinny. It's skinnier than a Lancero, but it's short like a petite Corona or like a Corona. And I remember the name was the Santi, Santi, and I can't remember the exact dimensions, But I loved that. It was such a small size, but it was a great size. And it was actually at Two Guys Smoke Shop. Back in the day when I spent a lot of time in there, which I wish I still did. I was smoking these. I think I was smoking like this size or one of the other sizes. And shout out to Trevor Merrill, who was like, "Hey, have you had the little tiny size?" And I said no. And he's like, "Dude, you gotta try it." And I was like, "All right." I mean, I'm not gonna say no. And I remember I smoked it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is fire." And I would buy handfuls of them every time I went in there. And then, anytime I was like in the car and whatever, I'd light those up. They were perfect. They were great because it's like a great quality cigar with like good quality, like, real premium, but it was like nice and quick, nice and small, like quick, like 20, 30 minutes quick. And I loved it, especially in the wintertime. So I have to get more of those because it's a great blend and it's a great size. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting too excited about it. What are you smoking tonight?
So I'm smoking the Hoya Antonio del Corojo.
Oh.
This is the Antonios in general are it's one of those. I mean, everyone talks about like the staple cigars in every brand and very known, well-renowned cigars. The Antonio to me is one of those. It's everyone knows it. It's a staple. It's stronger for your common consumer, but the Del Corojo is a nice. It takes that really strong Nicaraguan Lajero Antonio blend. It puts a nice, sweet, nutty Corojo wrapper on, which on it before the H99 from Drew Estate. The Del Corojo was my kind of cigar that would scratch that Corojo itch. Now the H99 is kind of that substitute, but when the H99 you couldn't find them anywhere, I would be smoking Del Corojos. And the regular Antonio is phenomenal too. It's one of those. I don't smoke them enough anymore. I need to try to go back and the reserves too. They have extra little bit of age on them. It's just a good. It's like I always say, like when I was in the humidor, like the Antonio is like the Nicaraguan LFD double Lajero. Like it's like the Nicaraguan version of it. So it's a great cigar. Always well constructed. And Hoya just in general, like they're just I mean, they make a lot of sake stuff. Everyone loves sake. And then there's the Nesca factory makes a large portion of sakes too. But Hoya does a lot of his cigars, so it's a good factory.
It's a great factory. It's the oldest factory in Nicaragua, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite factories. I haven't been there yet, but sorry. I needed to touch up. But just based on what I've smoked that's come out of that factory, it's. I mean, how can you not? I mean, the Hoya branded stuff itself is great. Saka's stuff, the Bentley cigars that John Carney's.
That's right.
They're out of that factory. Yep. There's a whole bunch. I mean, people ask me like, "What's your favorite cigar?" And I'm like, I hate that question because it's really not an easy question to answer. I mean, there's really not like just one. I mean, I know for you there is, but there's really not like one blend or like one cigar that I put above all of them. I probably have like a solid top 5, maybe, that are like I smoke the most. But I mean, I really enjoy and really respect too many cigars out there and the people who make them to be like, you know what, it's this one guy. I just, and people can take that for what it is, but. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that will answer that question. And it's not even just because like I'm a media guy and I'm trying to be fair. It's I'm too indecisive. So there's too many great cigars just to pin one. But what I will say is I like to try to counteract it with my favorite factories because the factory doesn't necessarily narrow it down to one brand. Whether it's the brand that owns the factory or like other brands that are in that factory, I like to look at it by factory. And I mean like Hoya, My Father, or like my two Perdomo, like I look at it that way, like because even when you have different brands and different blends, like there is somewhat of a level of consistency that all of those different brands and blends, when they come from a certain factory, there's a certain feel to it. And I like to narrow it. I like to try to pivot it and answer it like, well, my favorite factories are, because it covers a wide range of stuff I like, but it kind of gets a more specific answer. And that's just me. And the factory is like the studio, and the blenders are the artists, they're like the artist, and in the factory is like the art studio, and there's many different pieces of art that come out of there. And so I kind of like to twist it that way, if that makes any sense to anybody. And Hoya, but the point I've been trying to get to here is Hoya is definitely high up on that list. There's just so much greatness that comes out of that factory. Sorry, I went on a tangent. I apologize. It's one of those days. But as always, our other friends that help make this show happen are our friends at SD Dupont. That's right, we shake up the legacy every week with SD Dupont, featuring the new Fender collection in the Biggie. Pat's got the Slimmy. I almost said the Shorty, which makes no sense. It's the Slimmy. And fantastic. This is our 2024 cigar accessory of the year. And for a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a review on it. You can go read the review. Go read the award write-up on it. I mean, it just fires on all cylinders, no pun intended. It's just very well made, very solid, very reliable, and you pay a little bit more for it, but you get what you pay for. It's definitely not a waste. So shake up the legacy with SD Dupont. Ask your local retailer today for SD Dupont products, including the number 2 guys cigars.com. I believe it's on the I know they carry it in the store. I assume it's on the website. So if you're not local, but ask your local retailer first. That's what Dave would say. To be fair, that's what Dave would say. Actually, I think on the Cigar Authority, isn't that what they say? Ask your local retailer. But if they don't have it, then you go to the number 2 guys cigars.com. I believe that's actually how they do it on the show. So as much as they do advertise, Dave would appreciate that. Support your local brick and mortar, but if not, then support Dave. So, man. Anyway, so we had a great Spare Notes episode the other night with Coop. We covered a bunch of interesting stuff. Mostly, I think we covered a lot of the Fuente Marifel thing, which we're not going to really get more into. I think we'll probably be back doing Spare Notes next Saturday, not this week, obviously, because I won't be here. I think we're going to be back, and as we get later into the year, it's going to really ramp up, because there's going to be a lot more stuff that's going on that we're going to talk about. Not really any news yet this week, so not anything too crazy. I know that there was a couple of things. Drew Estate is unveiling their latest Freestyle Live tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern on their Facebook and YouTube pages. So a new Drew Estate cigar will be announced. And that's always exciting, because Drew Estate's really kind of... which I don't know if we've ever talked about Freestyle Live, or if I've ever really gotten your opinion on that. But the Freestyle Live has always been a great tool since they started doing it. I think it's a great way to roll out a product. I don't know if every brand could do it, but Drew Estate is certainly unique, and Drew Estate is the perfect brand to do it this way. And I think it really works for them. I always find it interesting, kind of the whole process. They build it up, and then you get these unbanded cigars, and they give you 2 months to smoke it and all this, and they preview it, and then they're like, oh, this is what it's going to be. And I always find it fun, because for the most part, people who like to get involved in it and play along, they tend to it becomes a guessing game. It's like, oh, what could this be? Is it a Liga? Is it a Niga Rustica? Is it is it a new brand? Is it this? Is it that? So I think that brings a lot of fun to it too. But they make it great. They have the special kits in the packs that have the cigars, but then they got a couple of little accessories or swag items. I think it's a good value too. It's usually Yeah, you would actually probably know. It's probably like what, like $30 for a freestyle kit. You guys get them, right? At Twins.
It's like I want to say it's like $39.99 everywhere.
Yeah,
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
always $39.99.
Yeah, but my point is like it's not like it's super expensive. It's kind of cool. You
No,
pay
it's
pay
not.
$40. You get some cigars and you get some swag stuff, and then you get to kind of like smoke something new as like a preview, and then maybe you get to guess what it is. So it's always a good time. It's always a good time. I have just about all of the swag items from just about every freestyle live from over the years. I don't want them.
Yeah, it's I always say it's a good thing. I think it's one of the most innovative things that came out of COVID.
Yeah.
Um, it's definitely like from the retail setting, at least like in the shops I'm aware of here, like it slows down. It, I don't really know why. I think it's a good event. I think a lot of people get it for the cigars though, and the swag, and I don't know. And it's one of those like how many ashtrays and humidors and stuff do you need from events? But like, I mean, the thing about Drew Estate is they always like change it up though. Like it's like the little portable humidor case that they had for the last one had it was almost like a tackle box. Like you open up like the top and there's like a little shelf that comes out. So, I mean, most people have one of these portable travel cases, but they don't have something like that. So they always do have something that someone wouldn't have. They have like a nice. If it's not branded Yeti, it might be Arctic maybe, but it's a nice.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
still a good brand.
yeah, it's a nice cup. The only thing that I like when they do like the key tag scans and they have like a contest or if you enter and you scan the key tag you get entered to win something. They didn't do that this year, this time, and I think last time when they released the Dominicana they didn't do that either.
I don't think they did. Yeah.
And they don't do a guessing contest anymore. They did that for the Undercrown 10.
That was
A
the
couple
first
years
one,
ago.
wasn't it? Wasn't it the
That
Underground 10
was
the first one?
I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. It was the Underground 10, and then it was the Blackened maybe, and then they did. I might have these confused, but yeah, Underground 10, Blackened, and then they did the Nica Rustica, Habano. But either way, I guess what this one was, and I don't know if I'm right or not. I think it's the Dominicana, just unsweetened, but I mean I could be right. It tastes like Dominican tobacco. I don't know why Drew Estate would do that though. It doesn't make any sense why they would just do an unsweetened version of the Dominicana. But it's smoked like a. It tastes like Dominican tobacco. It's obviously like a Connecticut wrapper, and that's what the Dominicana is, except it's sweet tip. So maybe they're doing a in the three. I think they're like Lonsdales. So three of the same size. So I'm thinking they're doing a single size of the Dominicana, a special name probably, or an offshoot of Dominicana with a non-sweetened tip. That's my guess.
I haven't smoked it yet, so I can't really contribute to that. But I will say I have smoked the Dominicana. And it's not bad. It's not something I'd smoke all the time because it's just not my regular wheelhouse. But it's a good cigar for what it is. You know, I didn't hate it. It was enjoyable. The sweet stuff, I can't do it all the time. Once in a while, if I'm in the mood, like, and I randomly crave something like that, like the Acid 20 Connecticut, right? Like I'm not a big acid guy. Nothing against acid whatsoever. I have no disrespect. It's just not for me. But once in a while, I'll just be like, I could just it just comes out of nowhere. It's like I could really just go for one right now. And if I smoke one, then it's like it hits the spot, and I'm like, this is great. If I just go like, I'm gonna smoke this now, even though I'm not really in the mood, I'll be like, I'll like regret it. But it's not anything against the cigar. It's just like, the infusion, the sweet. It's just for me, I got to be in the mood for it. I really do. But when I am, they really hit the spot. That's the thing I'll say. It's kind of a weird thing, but I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there like that.
Yeah, and I'm in the same boat. Like I like acid. Not see the Cuba and I'm not a huge like the Acid 20 is the one that I usually smoke if I'm gonna have one. It's a little less infused or less sweet. I don't know what they do differently.
The Connecticut or the Maduro?
The Connecticut. The
Yeah.
Maduro one's pretty good. The Connecticut one's the one that I enjoy.
Yeah.
And I like it. And I actually like those times where like I'll buy one. And I think a lot of like seasoned smokers are like ashamed to admit that. But I mean I don't like and it's usually when I golf because I feel like when you're golfing. I mean, I smoke like opus on the golf course, so it's not like I smoke cigars. I'm like, eh.
Pat, let's just be honest. You'd smoke opus taking a shit on the toilet. I mean, you smoke opus everywhere.
I have actually when I was at Twins. And
yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not surprised. You know, it's funny. Side note, not to take away from what you were about to say, but it just reminded me. I remember he's gonna kill me for saying this publicly, but there was one time I was hanging out. Two guys, and I was just it was just like me and Trevor and like one other guy. It was like a quieter night, and he just says to me randomly, he's like, have you ever like smoked a cigar while you were like in the bathroom? And I'm like, no. He's like, dude, next time you gotta go and you're already sitting there for a few minutes, he's like, dude, you gotta smoke. He goes, it's an unbelievable experience. I'm like, I mean, you're kind of selling this. Like, he's like, he goes, you know what? I know it's weird, but it's like, just do it. I was like, all right. And then the next time I was in the store and I was like, I gotta go. I guess I'm gonna go here. And I took my cigar in the bathroom, and I was like, interesting. I think it's more of just like, you can't really do it anywhere else because like, I mean, I smoke in the house, but I don't smoke in the bathroom. So it's one of those like, oh, it's kind of like a cool novelty, but like, it wasn't life changing, but it was liberating. I'll give you that. But anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, like acid, because like you throw your cigar on the ground and you gotta relight it, and like the relightability of acid and like the Kentucky Fire Cured, it's a good. It has good relightability. It doesn't get like overly bitter. It's so. I like the infused cigars for that. The only thing that I can't really do, I can do like a Cuba. Like the Deadwood is because of that Virginia pipe tobacco. It's so sweet, and when I was smoking pipe too, like I couldn't do like heavy red Virginias because it's like that when you eat too much candy.
Yes.
That's how I would feel. And then like my palate was torched for like days. I would feel like it was just torched. Even if you brush your teeth after, like it's torched.
Yeah.
So, I know like the Deadwood is like supposed to be like less sweet, but it's not like I don't know. It's to me it's too sweet, but for what it is, it's good. I mean, it's literally just a rebranded natural, but they sell well.
No, they do, and it's funny because I get people asking me all the time, who are like much more casual smokers, but they're like, "Oh yeah, those Deadwoods," and I'm like, "Yep." I hear it all the time. You used to always hear like, "Oh, the Romeos, the Monte Cristo." You know what I'm talking about. The casual guys who don't smoke very often, but they know like the biggest names, right? Oh, the Romeos, and I like the Macanudos and the Cohibas and like the and you get a lot of the Drew. The people just say the Drew Estates, which could be anything. But I've been getting a lot in the last like year or two. I've been getting a lot of people being like, "Oh, the Deadwoods, Do you know the Deadwoods? What about those Deadwoods? Oh, have you tried the Deadwoods?" And I'm like, "Yep." And I keep getting that a lot. People asking about Deadwood, so I'm not surprised because they seem very popular, and I try to gauge. My own interpretation of what's popular on those conversations specifically, because the geek people like us, it's different. We know to go out of our way for certain things, right? But the so like we're like the anomaly. Like we're gonna smoke a lot of random shit that the average guy probably wouldn't. Just because I feel like the average guy is not as into it. They know the surface stuff, right? So when like the average person says to me like, "Oh, I'm smoking this or this," I'm like, interesting. I get Perdomos, obviously you get stuff like that, but very rarely do I get an average guy be like, "Oh yeah, like I had one of those like." What's an example that would be like kind of random from like a random person? You know.
I was taking a shit smoking a Grand Cru Davidoff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, because like a lot of like Davidoff's a big name. They sell a lot more cigars than a lot of people, right? But it's again like the average guy, like they might have heard of Davidoff, but like I don't get a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, I smoked like a bunch of those Davidoffs. It's always like something else. So when I hear like something like that, like once in a while, I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, that's kind of outside like the normal like 12 names that I usually hear. Um, and I actually get excited because I'm like, oh, you're kind of reaching a little bit further out of what I would suspect you would. And then I try to encourage people. I'm like, oh yeah, you should smoke those. And they're like, oh, if you like that, you should try this. And about 75% of the time, they'll come back to me like, oh yeah, I tried those, and then I tried these, and I'm like, haha, you found those too. You know what I mean? And they start like going outside of like the basic path. You know what I mean? Which I think is a win because nothing against like the most popular names, but it's nice when you can get people to really explore because there's so much out there that I think people would enjoy. But people just kind of get stuck on like those classic names that they hear their friends talk about, and that's all they know. So when I can get someone to smoke like a My Father Le Bijou, it's like that's kind of a win because there's a lot of guys out there that wouldn't even know what that is because they're like, I just smoke fucking this, and not that those are not good cigars, but it's like I always say expand your horizons, like try not to be so tunnel. There's too many brands out there. Someone's got to smoke other than just us, you know what I mean? Those guys got to eat too. Anyway, I digress. I've been getting carried away easily on this show tonight. I don't know why. I think it's just because mentally I'm just losing it. I'm tired.
I can say Deadwood's definitely grown. I mean,
but anyway, yes, back to your point. Deadwood has grown.
Yeah, and like it was kind of hitting the shelf. I was obviously at Twin still, and we couldn't keep it in stock. And it was the Leather Rose was the original one. I know, like that.
The Girl with No Name, I think.
Yeah, that was a store exclusive for Deadwood Tobacco, which is the shop that it was initially made for.
Isn't there three of them? There's the Girl with No Name. There's the Leather Rose. Oh, and Fat Bottom Betty.
Yeah, they have. I'm ashamed that I know this. They have Leather Rose. They have Fat Bottom Betty. They have Juicy Lucy. They have Crazy Alice, and then they have the Girl with No Name.
Crazy Alice. Juicy Lucy. I don't think I've had the Juicy Lucy.
Oh, did I say Juicy Lucy?
Yeah.
No, yeah, Juicy Lucy's one of them. Unless I'm thinking of Natural, that might be a Natural.
I was gonna say that one didn't sound familiar.
No, Crazy Alice is what the Juicy Lucy was. Never mind. So Crazy Alice, Sweet Jane,
okay.
Leather Rose,
Sweet Jane. Sweet Jane is one of them. Yeah, the Sweet Jane. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Sweet Jane.
Yeah, those are. And I mean, for people who don't know, I mean, it's Deadwood's Natural. Natural was Virginia pipe tobacco, and then it went away, and everyone's like, oh my god, Natural's gone, and then Deadwood came out, and they're like, oh, different cigar, but it's not. It's the same cigar. FYI. Different sizes, but same cigar.
Yeah, but arguably, I think that the Deadwood stuff has really taken off.
The branding's much more successful, and I mean, the sizes I think are better.
Yes.
I mean, like the Dirt Torpedo was the famous Natural that's sold everywhere.
Right.
And I mean that's why Leather Rose sells so well. I mean it's the Torpedo, right? So it's it does well. I mean nowadays it's slowing down a little bit, different sizes. Like I mean they have like Fat Bottom Betty, like they have like a Gorito, they have a Gordo, they have a Toro. They might have a Robusto now. But so you start finding some sizes just don't sell, but I mean, like again, your Leather Rose and Crazy Alice, like those sell pretty well still. So um, overall, it's definitely one of Drew Estate's like in more recent years successful launches. Like it sells, got a lot of traction quick.
I agree. In terms of like overall brands, I mean, Acid and Factory Smokes, that's probably what they sell the most of. Then it's like probably like, you know, probably Underground, I would say. And well, no, honestly, it's probably some of the other stuff too, like the Javas and shit like that. But um, you know, the sorry, I lost my mind just went blank. The Deadwood brand. Um, I agree. It's younger, but it seems to be going strong, and I think it's gonna keep, you know, just exploding. Just what I've seen and what I hear, and it's. I think that's gonna be like long term. I think that will be a very solid brand for Drew Estate, and which is great. Solid brands. It's keeps the lights on. So, yeah. I mean, all the power to them too. I mean, just everything Drew Estate does. I mean, you don't even have to love Drew Estate. Um, but if you're a regular like cigar follower like us, you have to really appreciate. They are very. I mean, I work with them. The guys in the office. They're a very great group of people. They're very professional. They're very organized. They get shit done. I very rarely, if ever, do I ever have to like wait on them or like there's an issue. Like they're very a well-oiled machine. But at the same time, they also are some of the most laid-back people, and they have fun and just. Drew Estate really is a special company. Like in my experience, like dealing with all these brands, there's a lot of great people in this business, but I mean, I have to say, I mean, I give the credit where it's due, and this is not just blowing smoke, because people know, like, I have no problem talking shit about people either. But Drew Estate really is, like, on a company level, they are a great company. Now, when you work for a company, people usually, I've never really heard many complaints. Other people may have, and so they disagree. But I haven't really ever heard any complaints about it. But I always leave that up to those people, because when you work somewhere, it's different. But from the outside, outside of that nonsense, they're a great company. They get shit done. They're organized. They're really in touch with the consumer base. They're really good about their branding. They know how to roll out brands. They know how to promote brands. I mean, their cigars are solid. Even the ones that I don't traditionally smoke, I know that they're solid smokes. You have to give them a lot of credit. I really do. Drew Estate's just there's something for everybody in there. I mean, really. I mean, if you're patient and you try everything, I mean, I think any cigar smoker could find something from Drew Estate and be satisfied. You know what I mean? It's like I don't think that there's like anybody who could go to Drew Estate and just not find anything they like. I mean, and if you don't, well then that's just you, because they have such a diverse portfolio and they do such a great job with it too.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Is it's the most diverse brand on the market. I mean, like it's, and honestly, to this day, I think the pricings are still accurate to this statement. But like, I think the best under $10 cigar is the Undercrown Maduro Corona Viva. I don't think anything fucking touches that cigar. Like I know,
That
like
is a
Charter,
great cigar.
yeah, Charter Oak came out, and honestly, that's probably like everyone would argue that's probably the best under 10. It's best under $8 cigar, but
Oh yeah, that's a
like
good one too.
the Undercrown Corona Viva is like, to me, like it's. I mean, I've never reviewed it and given it a score, but it is a damn good cigar. It's good, especially like if you like Liga. But even if you don't like Liga, it's different. It's not. It's like Mexican hot chocolate. Like that's always how I told people it is, and I use that description in certain blends. But I mean, it's like a meaty, thick Mexican hot chocolate.
Yeah, I could see that. I would agree with that. And you mentioned Charter Oak, and I just was gonna throw this in there too. And then we gotta do our trivia segment before we get towards the end here. The other thing too is, there's a lot of people out there, I think, that are very loyal Drew Estate customers, and you have Dunbarton and Foundation. You get Steve Saka, Nick Melillo, two pretty important people previously of Drew Estate. So when you smoke their collections, if you're a big Drew Estate smoker, it feels very familiar. And I think that's part of why like those brands were able to get so big and popular and like have these cult followings so quickly, because not that first I gotta say this first because someone will try to turn this around, because there's always that one dickhead who's like, well, you're trying to say no. They did not copy Drew Estate or vice versa, but at the same time, they were a part of Drew Estate and they did a lot of good stuff and a lot of big stuff at Drew Estate, and of course they want their own identity. But like an artist, like I was saying before, an artist always has like some sort of signature style. So you can see in a good way. This is, and I'm saying this in a positive way. Someone can turn this around, but you get that similar feels in those brands too, and I think that's a good thing. And I think that it makes it good for everybody. And you mentioned Charter Oak. I mean, yeah, Charter Oak. I mean, that is a fantastic cigar. I think it is still under $10. And I'm telling you, for the money, dude, that's a great line. Just to have something that's kind of like good quality, but not like, the most expensive thing. Like, it's a great everyday cigar. Like, you buy a box and like that's just what you smoke all the time when you're just doing whatever. It's always there. It always fires. It's perfect. It doesn't cost you too much. If you're smoking, like, if that's what your main smoke and you smoke it all the time, it's a great value because you're buying a lot of them, and you can always count on it. And that's I think that says a lot. And then same like with some of Steve's stuff. Like Steve's got like the Umbagog bundles. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a great concept, and it's a solid cigar for what it is. You know what I mean? And I start thinking about all those different pieces, and it's like there's a lot of reasons, why those guys are successful. But yeah, I mean, they've taken some of the things that they've learned at Drew Estate, they've applied them to their own brands, and it's successful because they know what they're doing. Long story short, they know what they're doing. I give a lot of credit to Steve and Nick because I think that what they've been able to do on their own has been very remarkable, very, very remarkable. Because it's not easy to do that. Sure, you could be like, oh, well, so-and-so left, and like now they're doing their own thing. And that doesn't mean that it's going to be a hit. But those two guys just both celebrated 10 years this year. And I got to say, like, being in their booths at the trade shows and talking with them and smoking all their cigars and just, got to say, man, I got to give them a lot of credit because, it's not easy to just start over on your own. But they've done a fantastic job, and their products really do speak for themselves. And you don't have to love the brands. I mean, they're great, and you should try them if you haven't. But you have to at least give them a lot of credit because they've made a lot of the right moves, and they know what they're doing. I mean, I know they're both perfectionists too. That helps.
The thing that I like about both of those people is, and this is like when it comes to like, I guess, traditional Drew Estate smokers, like where, like the best cigar is the Liga if you're a Drew Estate person, like
yeah,
in the traditional, like non-flavor, non-infused section. The reason why I like that traditional aspect of Drew Estate and like Nick Murillo's and Steve Saka's approach to tobacco blending is it was like a classification of blending that they like profiles that they go for, and I always like I've had this like kind of like a conversation in the humidor explaining it, but it's like I call it like American blending. Like it's kind of a weird kind of way to explain it, but it's very like like Liga, like most of like Saka's, most of Nick's. It's like it's very meaty. It's like it's rich, it's thick, it's like a hearty feast, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
And a lot of that comes from American tobacco, and I think they use American tobacco exceptionally well. I know as of right now, Drew Estate's the only company that's using Florida sun-grown tobacco. I know Saka Tea's doing it. You know, I'm gonna do some.
No, someone else used it, didn't they?
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying out of those three companies, it's just so
Oh,
far.
out of
Drew Estate.
okay, yeah.
Saka mentioned, I think Saka was working on one, and I don't know what happened. It just kind of everyone stopped talking about it.
No, you're right. I think he was.
I
No,
know
he did.
I
No,
mean,
no, he did. Didn't he do? Yeah, no, he did something for Jeff, who owns Florida Sungrown. He did the. Remember, he did the Black Angus.
if he did, then
I think that's
never
what it was
saw
called. I think it was a store exclusive
know-
for Jeff. I think he did. I think he did do one. I think he did
Well, that
one. I
sucks
think
for
he
me.
did one for Corona.
Because I love Florida sun-grown, and I would like to try that. But anyway, it's like they use American tobacco very well, and I've said for a long time that Pennsylvania tobacco is like one of the best fillers. Again, my palate.
Yes. Sorry, not to
But
cut you
like,
off. But yes, Corona has the Black Angus Florida Sungrown from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust.
is that like a regular production thing, or is it like what was it, like a one and done he did? It must be a one and Saka doesn't do exclusives.
They still got them in stock.
Oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to look into that. I love Florida sun-grown. I hope to see more companies utilize it.
It is good tobacco. It really is.
But yeah, I just like it's like American blending. I don't know how else to explain it. Like like when you look at like the American diet, just compared to like other countries, it's not that it's not elegant, but it's a lot more like hearty, and it's hard to explain. Like I mean, people that appreciate like Liga and like the Micaritas, the Tabernacles, like they understand what I mean when I say it's like a meaty, like a steak dinner cigar. You know what I mean?
It's full. It's a full-bodied cigar.
And they just use that tobacco so well, and that's why. And if you find somebody who likes Liga Privada, I guarantee you, 10 out of 10 times they're gonna like Tabernacle and they're gonna like the Micarita, they're gonna like the Saka Black, because they're different cigars and they're uniquely different, but the blending style to me is like the same. It's the same kind of vision, I think.
Right.
And I just love that. I don't think any other company has a blending like those. Well, I guess those two, because they were both part of Liga Privada. So, like those two,
they were the brains behind Liga Privada.
Yeah, like there's no other cigar on the market, in my opinion, that's close to any of Saka's broadleaf cigars, any of Nick Murillo's broadleaf cigars, or the Liga Privada. I mean, there's some companies that try to do like a Connecticut broadleaf cigar, Saka, but it's not. It doesn't touch the same. It doesn't get anywhere close.
I agree. I agree. Let's do our trivia segment before we get towards the end of the show. I did send you the link to that, by the way, just so you have it. Our trivia once again brought to you by Perdomo Cigars, featuring our 2024 Cigar of the Year, the Perdomo 30th Anniversary Sun-Grown Epicure. Perdomo Cigars, quality, tradition, and excellence. Pat, what do you got for us this week?
So I'm doing food this week.
I'm excited. I like food. This is a realm I can get behind, depending on how out there some of these specific ones are. But I'm usually very good with food.
So here we go.
I like to eat.
What was the first vegetable ever to be grown in space?
A potato.
It is a potato.
Mm-hmm.
What year did Coca-Cola come out with Diet Coke?
Ooh. I want to say... Hold on a second. I gotta do a little bit of process of elimination here. It was sometime in the early 80s, I want to say.
I can give you the correct answer for that because I don't think you're going to get the exact date, to be honest with you.
Well, hold on a second. I'm trying to think. Well, because I remember, like, if I remember correctly, and I'm young, relatively. So, like, the 70s and 80s kids will definitely know this. But if I'm correct, and I think this is right, but I could be wrong. Before there was Diet Coke, there was Tab. That's what Tab was. It was a diet soda. And then eventually they came out with Diet Coke after. Because I believe the reason why Tab originally came out was it was a diet soda, but it was before Diet Coke. And I want to say Tab was popular in the 80s. But I don't think Diet Coke came out too relatively recently, but I don't think it was like back in the 60s either. So I want to say maybe like 1982 Diet Coke came around, and then it slowly overtook Tab. That's my final answer.
What number would you say?
82.
It is 82. Do you know what? Can you guess the day in 82?
Like the weekday or like the date?
Oh, just like the actual day. I'll give you the correct answer for 82, but it has the day here too, so you can just get lucky.
I mean, that one, no one's gonna know that. I'll take a random stab. Maybe like a Friday.
It was July 8th, so I don't know what day that falls on.
But... Oh, no, that's what I meant. Like the date or like the day of the week. Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't guess that. But yeah, like 1982.
So I'm going to read this question, and we're not going to do it because I have no clue what the hell, but it was like, what year did Dunkin' Donuts become Dunkin'? And it says 2018. Like, I don't think is Dunkin' Donuts just called Dunkin' now?
It is. It is. And I didn't think it was that. I thought it was a little bit more recent. I thought that was like 2022 they started doing that, but
I didn't know that. I just assume it's Dunkin' Donuts.
No, they've rebranded. You haven't noticed? It just says Dunkin' now on the plate. Like there's no Dunkin' Donuts.
I just thought it was like slang for Dunkin' Donuts. I didn't.
No, like they're just Dunkin' now.
Oh, I didn't.
Hold on. My caveat to that is the corporation could still be Dunkin' Donuts, but the branding of the business or their DBA, I think, is just Dunkin' now. That's what all the stores and all the cups and everything, it's just Dunkin'. But I don't know if like the corporate entity is still Dunkin' Donuts. But yes. I also thought they didn't do that until like sooner. But maybe they did it, but it's just taken this long to roll it all out.
This is a good one. I would never guess this, by the way. Where was the Dorito invented?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it wasn't Mexico.
I don't think you. Like, I would bet money you would never get this right because I'm looking at the answer and it is like the last place you would probably think it would be invented.
Like you mean like now, just so that I have a little bit of.
I'll tell you, it was in the United States, but
my point was like you're not looking for country, you're looking for like a very specific town and a state.
It's a very like.
Is that what you're looking like? Is that what the answer you're looking for is?
It's not even like a town and city. Like it's like a known place that everyone knows this place.
Okay.
Like
I'm just trying to generalize like what the answer would be, because I don't know it off the top of my head, but I try to use critical thinking.
Like the answer isn't like a city or a town. It's like
right.
Like you refer to this place as like what this place is.
Meaning like as an example, like Disney World, like it's not like a town, it's like a location. It's like yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Where was the Dorito? Like where did it start?
Yeah.
I have no fucking idea. Doritos been around for a long time too, so honestly I really don't know. I'll surrender that one because I'm like, who the fuck knows that?
You won't have any guess?
I mean, I feel like wherever it was random.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah. I mean,
it's still worth guessing. I mean,
I know. Well, but that's the thing. I don't even know where to start. Like,
Well, if you guess, you never know if you're gonna get it right. You just gotta throw something random out there.
There's so many possibilities. The problem is there's too many possibilities. So I'm just like, what's the most random fucking thing? I don't know. My mind keeps telling me something sports related. Like a stadium. For like concessions. And it got popular and then it became a thing. But the question is, if I commit to that line of thinking, specifically where, what sport would have been? I want to say... not baseball, not hockey, down to basketball, football. I'm gonna go with... I don't fucking know. I don't know. I really don't know. Just tell me.
Disney.
You know, it was fucking Disney, and I just fucking said that as an example, and I'm like, it can't be Disney.
And I'm like, I didn't think my hint was that helpful, but then you're like fucking Disneyland, and I'm like, yeah, it could be something like that. Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
That's what I was trying. Like, just take a guess. Like, you already guessed. Just commit to the guess you put. Like, you just threw a name out there. I didn't want to give it away.
I overthought it. That's on me. I overthought it. I'm like, yeah, like somewhere random like Disney World. You're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, that was the answer. Wait, was it Disney World or Disneyland?
It was Disneyland. It was at Casa de Fritos at Disneyland.
So they like made that chip as like their thing, and then it was like so popular, the whole brand. Thing, yeah, that's I didn't even know that. That's damn. Wow, my example.
You almost exceeded excellence on this round, but.
I mean, technically, I said it.
I mean, you did, but you didn't commit to it.
I didn't lock in my answer like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Is that your final answer? Disney World, my final answer. And that's correct. I missed that show. Although, no offense to... Is it still on? I don't think it's still on. But when Regis Philbin was on there, that's when it was good. I liked it with Regis. Regis was cool. Well, let's read our news really quickly, and then we'll wrap up the show. Our news, once again, brought to you by Micallef Cigars, featuring the new color series, the black, the blue, the red, the purple, and the yellow coming... Or no, the green coming soon. Thank you, Coop, for correcting us on that. There's too many colors in the rainbow. Relatively quiet week, so it's still early. We do the show halfway into the week, so I usually have more, but Monday's usually quiet. But Casa Carrillo did have something today, and they unveiled the La Historia Silk, inspired by women, blended for all. Casa Carrillo proudly announces the release of La Historia Silk, a bold new chapter in the Perez Carrillo legacy. Born from authentic conversations with women across the cigar industry, retailers, aficionados, and leaders, Silk captures the intersection of generational tradition and meticulous craftsmanship and forward-thinking innovation. Now, what's interesting, another somewhat recent, I think it was last week, but the League of Fat Bastards officially announced their Skinny Bastarda, I believe is what it's called. And that was a cigar that was blended by women and is made by women at Casada's factory by Raquel and what's her sister? Is her sister's name Patricia? I think it's Patricia Casada, because I know her sister is kind of like back in the focus now, and I know that's where they're made. So that's another one too. That's kind of women created ish based, which is interesting. And I think that's a trend that you're gonna see, probably not everywhere, but I think you're gonna see it more often with some brands. Is the industry has started to really embrace women who smoke cigars, which historically was not really a thing. I mean, there was a time when, like, if you saw a woman smoking a cigar, it was like, oh shit, that's badass. Now it's just kind of like, it's common. There's a lot more women that smoke cigars now. So that's kind of cool to see those. And obviously, with Perez Casa Carrillo, you have Lisette Perez Carrillo. A lot of women in the companies now, which is cool. So yeah, you can check that out. I'm not sure, when does Is that a shipping notice or just an announcement? When does this ship? We'll begin shipping next week to allocated retailers with only 1,500 boxes of 10 cigars produced in the first run. The suggested retail price is $16.50 per cigar. So it sounds like this is going to be like an ongoing limited production. So yeah, definitely check those out. Head to the number 2guyscigars.com and you can. I'm pretty sure they're going to have that cigar because I'm pretty sure they carry a lot of Casa Carrillo. So head over there and order those today. But I think that's going to do it. I'm going to wrap up the show there. We still went an hour. I was going to keep it shorter, but, these things happen. We just get into these conversations. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So, Pat, thank you for being here once again. And to everyone listening and watching at home, thank you very much for being here with us. And don't forget to go to smokingtobacco.com to follow us for more updates from the cigar industry, news, reviews, and all that fun stuff. And we'll see you next week when I get back from my trip. I'll tell you all